What's going on, everyone? Trust the Buzz here. If you're new to the channel, I make Charlotte Hornets content, so if that interests you, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. If you cannot tell by the thumbnail or title of this video, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how the Charlotte Hornets, in some ways, stunned the Oklahoma City Thunder on the road, 137-134. Now, it wasn't the defense that we're used to seeing, but Mark Williams didn't play this game. A lot of people didn't play this game. I could make a whole list, but basically everybody that has played starter minutes of some kind throughout this season did not play today except PJ Washington, which we will get to what he did tonight. I mean, it was just a great game. Steve Clifford, the organization, they really just bought in and let the young players play. There's 6-7 games left, so they're like, why not? The starting lineup, you could tell off rip, you could tell what kind of game this was going to be. It was, they're just letting the young guys play, because the starting lineup was Teo Maledon, Svi Mikhailuk, Nick Richards, PJ Washington, and Bryce McGowan. That was the starting lineup. That's what they started with, and everyone played well. I don't think there was one person where you couldn't take away a positive from that game. Now, obviously, there was some defensive lapses because 134 in regulation is insane to me. But hey, it is what it is. I think this team did a great job of just fighting. At the end, they could have easily just made some mistakes and not have won that game. And it would have been one of those, well, it was the young guys and they didn't know how to react in late game moments. Well, the team stepped up to the plate and made plays late in the game. But I mean, all of this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for PJ Washington, who dropped 43 points. He was 16 for 24 from the field, 5 for 9 from 3, and 6 for 7 from the free throw line. So PJ literally could not miss tonight. Like I said, 43 points is just ridiculous. He had 6 rebounds, and he also had, how many assists did he have? He had 5 assists. So he was doing a little bit of everything. And I mean, really, most of his points were he was getting to the basket and kind of, bullying his way, getting layups and then, spot up threes and whatnot. But he was just able, it's still just the way he was just able to score was insane tonight. He was playing out of his mind. He played well on defense. One thing I didn't like about this game in general was that when OKC started going down a lot, they just started running at the basket and just getting whatever foul they wanted. And that is something I do not like. The NBA needs to fix that, because I get it. Like, basketball tactics wise, it slows the game down, allows you to creep back into the game. And that's exactly what happened. OKC was down 13 late into the fourth quarter. Not say midway in the fourth quarter. And that method of just attacking the basket, getting fouled, going to the free throw line brought them back in the game. It slowed down the pace of the game. But it was just unfair to me. And I'm not complaining. It is what it is. It's been happening for years, but that's something I think the NBA should look at. But overall, like I said, everybody played well. One thing, I'll just talk about everybody, because I think, like I said, everyone played extremely well. So I've already mentioned PJ. I think he did excellent. He did a good job of defending. He did a great job of scoring with a career high. He also playmaked a little bit. 5 assists is not typically what PJ does, but we've seen that he does show flashes. But I mean, he was passing the ball very well. And then, like I said, also being able to defend on the other end was also very helpful for us. First person I want to talk about outside of PJ is James Bouknight. And the reason I want to talk about James Bouknight in his 19 minutes is because he did not have the best offensive game. He was 2 for 8 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3. He only had 6 points, but he had 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and he just looked more confident with the ball in his hand, dribbling the ball up the court, because I know we had that debacle earlier in the beginning of the season where he got an 8-second violation or something like that. James Bouknight looked a lot more comfortable in today's game. It just, the shot wasn't falling, and that's okay. That's how offense goes. But it's just good to see him have that confidence of being able to just, hey, I can do this. I'm here for a reason. That's what you want to see with guys like James Bouknight, because we know that it's been a confidence thing, but he showed that his confidence is slowly coming back, and I just can't wait to watch him for the rest of the season in the short amount of games we do have. Nick Richards played very well, 14 points, 11 rebounds. I do feel like he could have did a little bit better defending the paint. There was some times where he missed some rebounds and just kind of just leaned into guys, and they were able to create contact and get a foul. I mean, it is what it is. I do want Nick Richards to become a little bit better of a defensive anchor. But I mean, it's going to take time. That's honestly just me nitpicking, but he had a dangerous putback that we desperately need late in the game. So Nick Richards' offensive rebound games is off the charts in my opinion. And I think that in time, I think he will get that defensive anchor type role. Kai Jones as well. That's something I mentioned about Kai Jones, is that Kai Jones, I mean, he played very well. We can move on to him. He had 12 points, 14 rebounds. That might be his first official double-double. I need to go back and check. But, I mean, he played excellent. I think he doesn't make a lot of mistakes that he used to make. He showed his athleticism. I mean, Kai Jones is Kai Jones. We know what Kai Jones brings. It's just, can he get the basketball IQ? And I think it's come a long way. So playing in the G League has helped for him. Playing, being on the roster, being in practice, that has helped for him as well. It's just helping his mental, because we know he has all of the capabilities of being a great player in this league. It's just he's got to get the mental part down. And it seems like he's come a long way. But I will say, same thing I said about Nick Richards. He was very hesitant to hedge over when guys were attacking the basket and provide some type of, rim protection or rim deterrence. He wasn't able to do that because he just seemed, like I said, hesitant to hedge. And I think that's going to be in time. I think it's just, you got to learn to trust your teammate, trust that they rotate over, because that's something that this team's been doing a lot lately, is that they've just been really good on their rotations. Their rotations have been very crisp, and just with these new guys, like a whole new lineup, I get that they don't have that same chemistry, but in time I think it will happen. But that's just, once again, me nitpicking. It is what it is. JT Thor, excellent game. He had 14 points. He was 6 for 11 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3. Most of all, though, what I really want to talk about for JT Thor, as I look at his stats, he had 1 block, is that he also played very good defense. I think he also knew where to be on offense. His shot obviously could go down more, 1 for 5 from 3, like I said, but there were some times where he was able to get an offensive rebound and put it back up. There was times he was able to finish through contact, and there was times that I felt like he played pretty good defense, whether he was defending the pick and roll, whether he was switching on the pick and roll. I think JT just showed what we've known all along, but just at a higher level in this game, is that we've known that JT Thor can be a solid defender. It's just, can his offense keep him on the floor as much as his defense will keep him on the floor? And in today's game, it did pay off. I mean, like I said, 1 for 5 from 3, but when you're 6'11 from the field overall, no one cares about that 1 for 5 from 3, especially when you bring the defensive ability that JT Thor has. I mean, he did a really good job of just defending some of OKC's best players. Like I've seen him on Josh Giddey, Isaiah Joe, Jalen Williams, who was just running rampant, and I don't think there was anything anybody could do to stop him. I mean, also, like I said, the refs were quick to blow the whistle, especially for Jalen Williams. So yeah, I'm not going to blame the refs or whatever. That's not my thing. But yeah, it is hard for guys to defend when all you have to do is just run downhill and create that contact. And that's all. And that's a key reason why the Hornets need someone that can do that. But that's a conversation for another day. Svi Mykhailiuk, I want to keep him. I know that may not be the hottest topic right now. I know that may not be something that people really want to talk about, but Svi Mykhailiuk, I think he's an excellent three-point shooter. You can tell that he just knows what to do. I think he had 3 steals. Did he end up getting any more? No, he had 3 steals and 2 blocks. Svi Mykhailiuk was very good on the defensive end. I think all his steals, they mentioned on the broadcast, all his steals ended up turning into points, and that he just knew he was always just in the right place at the right time. That's something that the Charlotte Hornets desperately need. I'm not saying he should take someone's spot if it comes down to that, but what I am saying is that if there's a spot open, give it to Svi Mykhailiuk. I think he's the shooter that we desperately need. I mean, he was 2 for 5 from 3, which is 40% three-point shooting. We don't have that. I don't think anyone on this team that plays a lot shoots over 40% or shoots even close to 40%. So we need that desperately. And I think that he could be a really good player for this team. I don't think he should be 6th man, 7th man or anything like that, but an 8th, 9th guy that can come off the bench and hit clutch shots when need be if someone gets into foul trouble, or just, kind of carry over while guys get their rest. I'm not mad at Svi Mykhailiuk at all. Bryce McGowens. I really want to talk about Bryce McGowens just because 11 points, 4 for 9 from the field. And really for him, it was also a confidence thing. I don't think his confidence is shaken like James Bouknight. If anything, I would just say Bryce McGowan seems more shy, if that makes any sense. James Bouknight, you could tell it's just a confidence thing. He's in his head like, hey, I don't know if I can do this. Why is my shot not going in type of thing. Bryce McGowan's is more of, I'm going to let the game come to me. I'm not going to try to do the extra step and try to create a play because I don't want to mess up. That's kind of what it seems like his mentality is on the court. But tonight, I think he played a little more freely. And it showed. I mean, like he was 3 for 6 from 3, which is great to see that, we know that he can shoot, but we just will like to see it more. I would like to see Bryce McGowan be a little more aggressive, and he was taken out in this game just because it was getting close and things like that. He played 24 minutes, but Overall, I think he had a very good game. You could tell that he was just getting more and more comfortable as the game went on. And yeah, I just think that really, once he gets comfortable, I think he can really take over. I'm not saying be the star or anything like that, but I think he can be the guy that we saw in Nebraska, which was a guy that really could put the team on his back at times. And I think he could do that for this team. He's also someone that's really good at getting the basket, creating contact. And like I said earlier, we desperately need that. So once he gets his confidence and just get out of the mold of, hey, I'm going to let the game come to me and I'm not going to try to, take the extra step or make the extra shot. I think once he gets into that mindset, as well as playing into the offense, I think he'll just be fine. But it was just good to see him kind of not be as timid as he's been a lot of the season. Is there anyone I missed? JT Thor, Kai Jones? No, I talked about everybody because we ran 8. Oh, I forgot about Taylor Maladon. Taylor Maladon. I really like Taylor Maladon. I know that I just made a little brief segment about how Taylor Maladon should, or Svi Mikhailuk should be on the roster next year. Taylor Maladon is another guy I would highly consider just because I like his craftiness. I think his ability to score, his ability to see the floor, I think that helped out a lot. There was a lot of times where he drove to the basket and was able to kick it out to Svi Mikhailuk or Bryce McGowan's or whatever the case may be, whoever was out there. PJ Washington, also obviously a big one. And it just turned out to be good for the offense. I think that we really struggle on offense without LaMelo because we don't have that kind of guard. Because Dennis Smith Jr. can play make, but it's not quite the same type of craftiness that Taylor Maladon and LaMelo have. And even the craftiness that LaMelo and Taylor Maladon have are completely different. But it's different from what Dennis Smith Jr. provides, at least on the offensive end. So I think that Taylor Maladon could be a really good backup point guard in this league if it's not with the Hornets. I think teams are looking at him and really being like, hey, we could really use this guy because I think he's an excellent player. I think he has a great basketball IQ. I think it's just more reps. Really, that's all he needs. I mean, he just needs to see his shot go down a little more. He needs to just kind of learn how to be a little better around the rim, a little more crafty around the rim. Not like he shies away from it, but he does struggle a little bit attacking the basket when there's so many bodies in the paint. And that was evident when like Nick Richards was in the game and the Hornets really weren't able to spread the floor as they would with the lineup with PJ at the small ball 5. But overall, I think this team did a great job. Like I said, I'm really just proud of this team in this game. I think that the Western Conference playing team should be afraid because we played our butts off tonight. And I don't know why I didn't curse there because I wanted to and I just held myself up. This is my channel. I haven't been cursing, but I'm going to start because you know what? It don't matter. I just don't want YouTube to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, but it's my channel. We'll go from there. And I'm not going to say nothing crazy, but still. Anyway, I'll talk about the OKC Thunder because when I do this, I would like to mention the other teams. I mean, we all love basketball. The Hornets are our favorite team, but, we all do love basketball at the end of the day. Lou Dort, I think he had a pretty good game. He's an excellent defender. I didn't know that he was like number 1 in offensive fouls created, so that aren't charges. So basically when people set screens, he burrows into them and causes, like that happened to Nick Richards a lot. And I think that happens to Nick Richards a lot in general, is that his screens, he gets a lot of fouls on his screens, but Lou Dort did a great job of just creating a turnover and giving the ball back to his team. Jalen Williams, out of Santa Clara, we've heard the name plenty of times. Jalen Williams is an excellent, both Jalen Williams to me. Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara, I think he's an excellent scorer. I think he showed that he can do what he can do tonight. He was 11 for 16 from the field, 8 for 9 from the free throw line. Like I said, he was getting every call. And then Jalen Williams from Arkansas, I think he's an excellent player as well. He's just a good effort guy that every team needs. And just luckily for this team that he also plays that center role. And I think he does a good job at it. We really weren't able to take too much advantage of it. I will say that Kai Jones and Nick Richards both had double doubles, I believe. So that is probably part of the reason why you don't really want that Jalen Williams to play center. But considering so, he could hold his own because the Hornets still only won 137 to 134. So it's not like the more rebounding killed them. And then Josh Giddey also was just a crafty player, just an excellent crafty player. And there was a lot of times at the end of the game, he was able to, the defense literally spread like the Red Sea, and he was just able to cut through and get to the basket, especially. Was he the one where they called? No, that was Jalen Williams, where Jalen Williams attacked the basket and PJ blocked it and they called a goaltending, but they went back and reversed it because that was like the cleanest block I've ever seen. But there was a foul apparently before that, but it is what it is. OKC is a good team. I don't think just because they didn't have Shea, I don't think the Hornets should take this win lightly. I think they should really understand what they did and how they played and just be like, wow, we really beat that's a good team to me. I know that their record may not say so, or their record's like slightly under 500, but that's a good team that the Charlotte Hornets just beat. So Steve Clifford did a great job of just letting these guys play freely, but you could hear him on you could hear him on the court. Just him talking to the guys and just hyping them up or just letting them know what they need to do and things like that. But at the same time, allowing them to just play their game. I think that really helped this team. I think that really helps for young players to just have the confidence to go play freely without being, tossed out the game or whatever the case may be. So shout out to Steve Clifford for that. And just shout out to all the guys for just playing their ass off in this game. But anyway, I talked a long time. But yeah, I really had to talk about this game because this was a great game overall. First game where we've know that about the center rotation. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Mark Williams had something on his thumb. So I'm really thinking that a lot of the center rotation stuff, I think it's really to see more of Kai Jones play, but I also believe that it's to kind of see where Mark Williams' thumb is. I think they don't want to rush him back and, have him play too much with that injured thumb. So I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, once again, that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.